Well, now I've seen everything. The parish library in Hammond is actually giving away comic books and having a comic book activity. With me is Library Director Barry Bradford. Now, I know, Barry, that comic books are fueling most of the Hollywood blockbusters these days, but is it really literature for a library?
Well, that's a good question. I think a lot of people wonder, why is a library giving away comic books? But you know what? I look at it as a way to get people interested in reading. I told my son when he was very small, I said, you can read whatever you want as long as you read. And the main thing is that you begin to engage a child's imagination through reading. And so if it's comic books that get kids interested, that's great with me.
I don't know if Hammond in particular has a lot of comic book aficionados, but they've certainly been in evidence today.
Oh, absolutely. We've had a couple of hundred people already coming through. We got more coming. We're giving away free comics as well as a free cupcake or cookie when you come in. We've got Big Easy Comics here giving away comic books, and Wyatt's Comics and Cards was here earlier, so they're partnering with us. But all our library branches today are giving away comics and cupcakes, and it's been a great success so far.
One thing I know you've been successful in is creating the impression among kids and teenagers that libraries are fun places to go.
Well, I think that's one of the most important things we want to get across to the public. The libraries are not just dusty stacks of books anymore. We do a lot more than just check out books. We have fun activities. We want the public to come in and have a great time. My personal goal is that when people come to the library, that when they leave with a good feeling and they want to come back.
So what, though, in particular, can you tell us about comic books and the library? Because I know that when you say that word comic books, you get a lot of people's attention.
You do. I think sometimes people, they call them graphic novels, and there's probably a difference between your average comic book and a graphic novel. But, a lot of TV shows are based on graphic novels today, and Walking Dead on television. There are a lot of adults that read comic books and read graphic novels as well. So we've actually purchased some of those. We have them on our shelves. And, it is a part of literature. It's part of American culture. So, we want to provide that for our patrons just like other things.
So with the Avengers in theaters, once again, if somebody comes into the library and say they're a fan of one of these Marvel characters, what do they find here?
Well, we've got a lot of Marvel comic books and graphic novels on our shelves. Iron Man, Hulk, the Avengers. We bought several of those years ago, and we keep stocking our shelves with those. So, yeah, you can come in and find those characters on our shelves. Yeah.
Plus, these days, your libraries here in Tangipahoa are a multimedia experience. You can get DVDs here. You can do a substantial number of downloads also.
Absolutely. Of course, at the library, you can get DVDs and books on audio books. But, yeah, at home, you can, wherever you are, not just at home, if you got access to the internet, you can get all kinds of, you can download movies, music, television, audio books. You can download it to your computer wherever you are, just with a library card, which is free.
My experience has been that even though a lot of old-timers worry that kids won't read anymore, I think all this new technology is just the opposite, getting them to read. Maybe it's on an iPad.
Yeah, and again, just like the comic books, whatever gets kids involved in reading, whatever engages their imagination, we want to be part of that, because I think that's what libraries are about.
So I know I was normally going to ask the question, what's next at the library, but you have coming up on the 22nd of May a big event to unveil both the documentary on the first years of Gordon Burgess, our parish president in public life in the 80s, but also there's going to be a Gordon Burgess display at the library.
Absolutely. We actually have already put some of the items of his presidency on display at our Amite branch. And when the documentary is premiered on May 22nd, we'll have more of his memorabilia, letters, photographs, newspaper articles available for people to look at about this signature event that happened here in Tangipahoa Parish in the 80s when the parish declared bankruptcy.
And of course, the parish president, after 30 years in office, literally the only parish president we've ever had, he's stepping down now. But before he does, his papers and his memorabilia, they'll be on display at the library along with this documentary.
That's right. We will have it available for people to come in and do research. It's really an amazing piece of history, and it happened right here in Tangipahoa Parish. Mr. Burgess's legacy, I think, is a tremendous one. It's one of actually saving the parish at a time when they were broke, and so we're very proud as a library to be part of this heritage.
The word broke, I'm sure if you looked it up in Webster's, it would have maybe a dozen definitions, and all of them applied here in Tangipahoa in 1983. And from then on, through the 80s, into the 90s, we were broke in every sense of the word.
That's true. When you talk about turning out lights, the courthouse had its lights turned out. And you talk about potholes that cars could get lost in, and just tremendous problems here in Tangipahoa Parish because of a lack of money due to a variety of reasons. It was a huge challenge that Mr. Burgess faced.
So just to recap, the video will be premiered, and it was done by a local movie maker, Paul Catalinato, who's produced major motion pictures, but also the memorabilia of the Burgess years. This will all be available at the library.
Yes, it will. And anyone can come in and do research. They can have access to this material. Of course, it's in our archive, but it's available for anybody to come and do research and look at. The name of the movie is called The First Detroit, and we're very proud to be part of that as well.
So I would also ask what's next at the library, but I know the answer again because of the calendar. Summer will be here before you know it, and smart parents are already planning what they'll do to occupy their kids.
Yes, indeed. Summer reading program is the biggest thing we do in our calendar year, and we will start with actually today we're starting to sign up people with our comics and cupcakes, but in the last week in May we have our kickoff program, so we invite all people out to sign up and enjoy some food and entertainment. It'll be at all of our branches in the last week in May.
But again, thinking about this summer, you have a lot of programs to occupy kids.
We do. Every week we'll have a different entertainer come in. Again, we'll have all kinds of activities, special activities for kids. We have giveaways. We give away goodies when they sign up for the program. We give away goodies when they reach certain reading levels, and we have a party at the end of the summer for those who have completed the program.
Katie Moore, the Community Relations Director here at the library, was on hand for the comic book giveaway day, and not what you would expect at a library. It's not fine literature, but on the other hand, just ask Hollywood. Comic books look like they're ruling the world today.
They are, absolutely. We have the new Avengers coming out, Avengers 2. Actually, I think today it started, so we're kind of riding that wave, and it is literature. You have comic books such as V for Vendetta that are graphic novels that I actually had in one of my master's classes, so it is literature. It is, it's a really fantastic educational, tool for children.
Speaking of which, you actually spoke to a kid here at the library. In fact, I'm sure you spoke to many today.
I did. They seem to be really enjoying themselves. They're loving the cupcakes. We have coloring sheets too for them. So they're really loving it, loving all the little free comic books.
Obviously, what you're trying to do is just make it a fun experience for a kid to come to the library.
Yeah, absolutely. Anything that can engage them, to have them reading, we love that. We love providing for families.
So your next event is going to be something a little different from comic books, actually unveiling a documentary done by local filmmaker Paul Catalinato. The First Detroit, the story of Tangipahoa's little remembered bankruptcy in the 1980s.
Absolutely. It's a little bit of history behind Tangipahoa Parish, and I think that's so critical for the parish. I'm loving, presenting artistry from movies to literature. Love having the ability to do that, showcase those.
Well, plus, it occurs to me from one end of the spectrum to the other, from comic book readers to local history buffs.
Oh, absolutely. It covers all fields, all interests. We love providing that.
One thing there is in Amito that is the center of the parish when it comes to the library system archives. There, if you want to delve into local history, you have a tremendous resource.
Absolutely. Our genealogy department is fantastic. We have Miss Lenore and Bill there who are really knowledgeable when it comes to genealogy. We have classes actually as well where you can do ancestry.com for free and learn your history. It's really interesting.
What else do you want to share with us?
Just come out all day today. We'll be giving free comic books and cupcakes. And again, yes, May 22nd, we're having a documentary premiere. We're having a 10 a.m. Matinee and a 7 p.m. matinee. So we're very excited.